Hi, my name is Muhammad AIDIL bin ZAZALI. My ID number is 2019-272-496. Okay, next we go to demographic trends of Egypt. Most of Egypt's people live along the banks of the Nile River, and more than 2/5 of the population lives in urban areas. Along the Nile, the population density is one of the highest in the world, more than 5,000% per square mile in a number of riverine governorates. The rapidly growing population is young, with roughly 1/3 of the total are below age 15 and about 3/5 are below 30. In response to the strain put on Egypt's economy by the country burgeoning population, a national family planning program was initiated in 1964, and by the 1990s, it had succeeded in lowering the birth rate. Improvements in healthcare also brought the infant mortality rate well below the world average by the turn of the 21st century. Life expectancy averaged about 72 years for men and 74 years for women. Next, we go to the race section. Egypt is largely dominated by one ethnic group, Egyptians, but there are also two smaller groups of Egyptians, the Bodians and the Berbers. The largest ethnic group in Egypt are the Egyptians. About 99% of the country populations are the Egyptian citizens, as opposed to, for instance, those who are in the country to work but not citizens. Around 99% of Egyptian citizens are also identified ethnically as Egyptian. Almost all Egyptians are Muslim. There are some Christians in Egypt, though known as the Copts. The Copts are the largest Christian group in Egypt and have historically been persecuted for their beliefs. Next is marital status. By law, marriage in Egypt is considered a contract concluded by mutually consenting parties of marriageable age. The minimum age of marriage is set at 18 for males and 16 for females. Upon entering into marriage, a groom must pay the bride an advance portion of the dowry, muqaddam, before the consummation of the marriage. The remaining portion of the dowry is payable upon divorce or death. Next, let's see some overview of marriage and divorce laws in Egypt. Discrimination in Egypt's divorce system starts long before a woman files for divorce. In fact, it begins with marriage itself. Many women in Egypt are married without their consent, often before they become adults. While Egyptian marriage contracts may contain conditions providing for certain rights and a woman's equal access to divorce, many women are not informed of their right to negotiate such conditions, and in fact are not often even present during the negotiation process. Women's autonomy and choices continue to be restricted if they make the decision to terminate their marriage, while men seeking divorce never need to resort to the court. Women need to navigate a complex, burdensome, time-consuming and costly divorce system to end their marriage. Women ultimately must choose between a protracted fault-based divorce that allows them to retain their financial rights, or a divorce predicated on the abandonment of their rights.
Okay, so now I will explain a little bit of background and history of Egypt. Egypt is an African country in the northeastern part of the continent. The Nile River Valley and Delta in Egypt's core was home to one of the ancient Middle East's most important civilizations, and like Mesopotamia further east, one of the world's first urban and literary communities. Much of Egypt's ancient history was a mystery until Egyptian hieroglyphs were deciphered with the discovery and help of the Rosetta Stone. Among the 7 wonders of the ancient world is the Great Pyramid of Giza. For your information, the present Republic of Egypt was established in 1953, and with the departure of British soldiers from the Suez Canal in 1956, Egypt became totally independent and administered by local Egyptians for the first time in 2,500 years. Egypt National Day is on 23rd of July. As you can see on the screen right now, this is the national flag of Egypt. The national flag of Egypt consists of 3 colors: white, red and black. The color represent the Egyptian Revolution. Red stripes symbolize the period before the revolution, a time when Egyptian struggles against a monarchy and British occupation. White symbolizes the bloodless nature of the war itself, and lastly, black signifies the end of oppression of the Egyptian people at the hands of foreign imperialism and monarchy. Okay, now we move to the emblem. The eagle of Saladin is located at the center of the flag. This emblem is a symbol of Arab nationalism. It symbolizes the strength, courage, and determination of the people. The gold coating symbolizes power. The emblem dates back to the first sultan of Egypt and Syria, named Saladin. You guys must be wondering, what is the capital city of Egypt? Cairo or Kahira. In Arabic, Cairo is known as Al-Kahira, which means the victorious. Cairo is one of Africa's largest cities. Cairo has been located on the bank of the Nile River, particularly on the eastern bank, for over 1,000 years. Cairo has only 2 seasons, approximately 8 months of summer and 4 months of winter. Cairo population, once both ethnically and religiously diverse, is now predominantly by Muslim. So now we move to the type of soils in Egypt. Arenasol soils contain particles that are transported or deposited by the wind, known as eolian. Next, alluvial soils are found in Egypt Delta and Nile Valley due to the Nile annual seasonal flooding. The alluvial soil of the Nile Valley has a fine texture and is particularly fruitful due to the organic matter and mineral it contains. Farmers cultivate the ground in and around the Delta and Nile Valley because the organic matter is good for healthy and abundant food. The third one is marine soil. Marine soils exist near the edge of coastal areas of the Mediterranean and Red Sea. Last but not least, the calcareous soils. Like the marine soils, calcareous soils are also found along the shores of Mediterranean and Red Sea.
Hi, my name is SITI NORIZZATI BINTI Roslan, and I will present the part of country resource, currency, import-export, and MNC. So for natural resources, Egypt has deposits of petroleum, natural gas, iron ore, limestone, gypsum, and zinc. The Nile River has become the most critical resources for Egypt. Egypt is significantly reliant on the Nile as the key of source of water. The Nile's water are used for a multitude of reasons such as agriculture, transportation, and hydroelectric power generation. The dam's electricity ensure that a huge number of Egyptians living in rural areas gain access to electricity. Despite Egypt's limited arable land, agriculture is one of the country's most vital industries. Cotton is the most important export crop. Egypt also produces a lot of rice, wheat, corn, beans, and vegetables. Cattle, sheep, goats are examples of livestock. For marine resources, Egyptian fishers capture fish in various locations including Lake Nasser, the Gulf of Suez Canal, and the Nile River. Commercial fishing is one of the most important economic activities in the country because it employs many people. Currency. Egypt's official currency is the Egyptian pound, known as EGP. The EGP is denoted by the symbol of pound sterling E. The Egyptian pound is broken into smaller denominations called kish or millimes. 1 EGP is equal to 100 kish, which is equal to 1000 millimesh. The Egyptian pound is a relatively powerful currency. It is not on the same level as the dollar, euro, or pound sterling, and it is still categorized as an emerging market currency. But it was the best performer versus the dollar among its peers in 2020. The main exports from Egypt are oil and mineral fuels, precious stones and metals, vegetable fruits, and iron. Egypt's main export destinations are US, UAE, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Italy, and 4 more countries. Meanwhile, Egypt's main imports are motor vehicles parts, pharmaceuticals, meats, and industrial machinery. The imports partner are mostly from China and USA, followed by Saudi Arabia, Germany, Turkey, and 5 more countries. MNC in Egypt. I choose 3 sorts of MNC. First, Siwa Rock Salt, which is the top salt provider in Egypt, and they have quarry rights and control several rock salt quarry in Siwa. The second one is Art Living Alliance, a certified export-import and product sourcing company based in Alexandria, Egypt. And the last one is Bavarian Auto Group, an Egyptian corporation manufacturer company that sells and manufactures BMW vehicles.
Assalamualaikum and hi greetings to Madam Farah. So my name is NURSHAMIMI BINTI SHUKRI and I'll be continuing to the last part, which is culture. Without further ado, let's move on to the first slide. So this is the points of discussion. Next. The first element is language. The language that has been used by Egyptian is quite different from Indo-European language, such as English, French, and also German. As the first language is hieroglyphic writing, until then it has been replaced to an Arabic languages. In ancient Egyptian language, there are 5 stages which are recognized as Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, Late Egyptian, Demotic, and also Coptic. Hieroglyphic script can be seen as a signs of people, animals, natural, and also man-made objects. Meanwhile, Middle Egyptian, which is more focusing on spoken language, which showing that cursive versions of hieroglyphic signs used for monuments and hieratic for letters, legal documents, and also accounts. Next. Second element is communication styles. Egyptians are quite expressive and passionate when they are in the conversation. Egyptians are also very friendly. However, public displays of anger are discouraged and may be interpreted as an insult. There are 3 methods of communication styles, which is indirect, direct, and also non-verbal communications. Indirect is Egyptians generally communicated in an indirect manner. They tend to avoid replying as no, instead usually offer a lengthy reply that may not answer to the question. Direct, if they are speaking with the older, they will be communicating as indirect ways. While nonverbal communication, it is actually a physical contact which is touching during conversations, depends on the relationship, which is close friend and also family. If same gender, they will be holding hands or kiss as a greeting in a public. Next. Value and attitudes. A person's place of origin and social class are important to guide how people interact with one another. In Egypt, education is highly valued and families invest a lot in educating their children. Next. Social structure. In Egypt, education is highly valued as it used to determine social classes. They believe that if someone has high level of education, it is one of the few avenues for social mobility. If someone are able to speak fluent in English or French, indicates someone highly educated from upper social class. Wow. Next. Currently, social class structure in Egypt might facing a significant change as it undergone old culture, but there is still an advantage to the Egyptian culture to be well known by using 2 methods, which is digital media and also internet. Egyptian cuisine. A significant amount of Egyptian cuisine is vegetarian. due to both the historically high price of meat and the needs of the Coptic Christian community, whose religious restrictions require essentially vegan diets for much of the year. So this is the types of Egyptian cuisine, which is full medamas, tamia, kebab and kofta, koshari, shawarma, tea, and also beer. Next, a country doesn't complete without their special festival or celebration. Same as Egypt, there are few festivals that will be celebrated by Egyptians, which are Coptic Orthodox Christmas, Abu Simbel Sign, Ramadan, and also Eid-al-Fitr. Last but not least, one of the most interesting aspects of ancient Egypt is its religion. Early stages, Egyptian beliefs to the natural phenomena and the powers that control these phenomena. They referred as a magical, as at these times they don't believe in God. While mythical, they are beliefs in God after a few decades. A few shapes of God, which is in animals, such as Osiris, Isis, and also Horus. Majority of Egyptian population is a Muslim, while a small minority of people in Egypt is Jews and also Christians. So that's all from me. Thank you so much and Assalamualaikum.